Awesomeness.
You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah.
All right, back by popular demand after a short little hiatus. This is Spotlight on Awesomeness. Great things happening in the Cobb world. First things first, before we get down to business, have an awesome announcement to make for all my little Cobb maniacs out there in TV land. If we can get that picture up, guys. By the way, need to always give thanks to my super cool crew. They always make me look good. Here recently, last week, I got engaged to my wonderful fiance, Miss Georgiana Edwards. She is the light of my life, keeps me, sane, on an even keel, takes care of me, and is pretty nice to look at, too, if I do say so myself. So, wanted to get that out the way, and now on to the meat and taters of our show. I have my good friend with me today, Rob Drown, really cool guy. Met him, about a year and a half ago?
It's almost 2 years.
Almost two? Wow, that long?
I've been in Graceville for almost 2 now.
Yeah, I lose track of time easily. We were working as correctional officers at the jail here in Mayrana. Neither one of us are still there. He's at Graceville now, but I've left that life behind me. Don't miss it. I miss some awesome people there, but not it. But this guy, let me tell y'all, this guy, the first night I worked with him, within an hour, I don't even remember how we got on the subject, but we got to talking about comic books, and then, Optimus, you're drunk. Go home. Within about an hour, we got to talking about comic books, and then I was like, boom, this is my new BFF right here. And the more we talked, the more we liked each other. So, Rob, what's going on in your world today?
Really, it's mostly work, marriage life, and band practice and shows a lot. And trying to juggle all that is pretty hectic for me, but luckily I got a pretty supportive wife and knows that I love to do it a lot. So she does her best to make sure I'm pretty well-rounded and keeps me on track, especially being in 2 bands. It's pretty hectic.
That is awesome, dude. When you got somebody supporting you, that makes it all the much better. I mean, you can do things by yourself, but when you got somebody backing you up, it's just great. I mean, like the other day, I was playing Call of Duty, and Georgiana was spotting for me. Ooh, there's a bad guy, baby. So it's great. So tell us about the 2 bands you're in.
Well, the original band that I got in when I first moved down here, which has been on Mr. Reagan's show a couple times, was Cicada, and we started out in '07. Was together about five years, and then we took a hiatus, and then we got back together. So I've been playing guitar with them. Originally, I was their drummer, and then we swapped up places. So I've been playing lead guitar for them. We're on hiatus right now because we don't have a place to practice. And then I'm also in another local band, Fillmore Drive. And I've been playing drums with them for going on about 3 years now. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, we've got some pictures up of your various musical exploits. We love pictures around here, because pictures are great. They're a moment frozen in time now.
Yeah.
Some of those guys look familiar.
Well, our lead singer is Matt Robards, which is the man in the middle. The little short guy next to him, that's Nick Conrad. You've probably seen him. He used to bartend.
DJ Nasty Nick.
That's right. Then you got Stuart Gamble over there on the left looking like John Lennon. And then our newest addition was Daryl Cooley, who used to actually own Vinnie's Willwell down the road.
Yes. I've known Daryl for like 18 years. Had some awesome times with that guy.
He's a great guy. He's very good-hearted, and he'll give you the shirt off his back if he needs to.
Definitely, and always there to make you smile. I can't say enough about, the people that spread smiles in the world. And there's another shot of you guys as well. Stuart, I haven't really spoken with that much, and now that I think about it, I can remember. Not going to name names, but when I got out of a certain relationship, I went to one of you guys' shows, which Matt announced that I was newly back on the market, and you guys dedicated the song She Hates Me by Puddle of Mud.
Oh, yeah.
To me, which actually pretty much summed up, that relationship.
What's really funny about that song, as much as we played, I actually despise playing that song.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I hate it. I hate it. There's a couple songs that we play that a couple of us aren't really like playing, but being a band and playing in local areas like that and having to play cover songs, sometimes you got to play what you hate.
You do it for the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Now there's you getting down. Now this looks familiar, this spot.
This is actually a show that we just played. It's Club La Vila, actually, for Pink Beards for Cancer, which was put together by Mike Compton. We played with 3 extra bands, and for the life of me, can't remember their names off the top of my head, but everybody did a phenomenal job. It was a great night. Packed in a lot of people. Crowd response was great. I had a blast.
That is awesome, bro, that you guys did that. One thing that my mama used to always tell me was gifts are called gifts, not because they're given to us, but because we're supposed to use them to give to others. So I mean, it's great, that you've been gifted with musical talent, but right there, you guys used it, to give back to people and for a good cause, and that's just great, and that's mad respect from me.
Well, I thank you for that. We actually, with the original lineup for Cicada, most of the local shows that we played in town, and we played quite a few of them, were actually, most of them were benefit shows for people. Like, we did one in the Winn-Dixie parking lot for a girl that needed money for cancer.
I remember that one.
Her name was Brandy. I can't remember her last name. We played at the bowling alley a couple times. We did benefit for my dad when he passed. We did a benefit for Partners for Pence when their air conditioner system broke down, and we did a couple other benefit shows, but I can't remember what they were for. But that was our main thing right there. We did a lot of benefit shows trying to help out the community the most we could.
That's just awesome, bro. The world can never have too much love and care.
No, it can't.
Unfortunately, there's not enough.
No.
But, we can do what we can, to try and spread it.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things of being a musician. I don't play to get paid. You don't pay me to play. I pretty much get paid to load in my gear and take it out. When it comes to time to play, it's it's all about the fans. That's what it's really about, bringing that joy to them, which is why I started playing in the first place, because that's what music means to me.
And you enjoy doing it as well.
Yeah.
So that's a really special thing that few people can find. I embarked on a writing career, which I love writing, and spreading word, my thoughts, getting to share it. And I mean, I'm a little bit of an attention junkie as well. I'm not going to deny that, but it's really great. When you can serve on all angles. You can make yourself feel good, make others feel good. And you were talking about when your dad passed. Big props to your dad, because my show, my books, everything I do, I always give props, to our military. And I know your dad, was a vet, and so big props there. Yes, big props there, bro. Big props.
He served about 30 years in the military, and he didn't just stick with one branch either. He started in the Army, put in about 4 years there, put in a couple with the Air National Guard, and then he finished out with the Air Force, which was a pretty good feat to accomplish.
Yeah. My pops did 6 years, Alabama National Guard, as a 88 Mike truck driver. Alabama! That's right. So big props to my dad at home, specialist Clifton Baxter, awesome dude. Hank Hill. Now, there's some more of you playing. Now, your play style has been described as hardcore, in your face, very high energy, and some musical purists would call murder face style.
Yeah, murder face style. Actually, what it is, and I do it no matter where I play, whether it's band practice or a live show, I always give it everything I got when I get behind that set, or if I strap on a guitar, because I just love it that much. So, I mean, when it's go time, It's go time, and it's all about, like I said, the fans, and I want to make sure they get the best that they can, because they paid money to come see, so why not?
Keep the tires, light the fires.
That's right.
Awesome. Now, this was at Daryl's Bar.
Yes, it was. That was with my other band, Cicada, when we had Tyler Faulkner as our lead singer. But unfortunately, a situation arose where Tyler had to leave state for family issues, and it was pretty. I was pretty down about it, because I became really good friends with Tyler, and I'd known him for a while because he used to play in another band, Fate Shall Follow, which is, I don't know if anybody knows Brian Buckaloo.
I've heard the name, but I don't personally know.
Great guy. As a matter of fact, he just helped us record our EP for Cicada. We don't have it yet, but it's coming along pretty well. He did a great job so far.
Yeah, I've heard many good things about him, just never personally.
And he had to put up with us for 8 whole months. God bless him. And it was a blast.
That would be too bad. Not with your crew.
With me and Jake and Will. Oh yeah, we gave him. Yeah, there was nights where he probably just wanted to strangle us.
No, speaking of Jake,
there's Mr. Freimeyer right there.
Yes, you know the funny thing, Jake and I graduated high school together about 100 years ago, 1999 at Malone High School, Hale Malone.
Back when they did bloodletting.
Yeah. And you know the funny thing is, back then I had long hair and he had short hair. What a difference 15 years makes.
I first met Jake when I moved down here in 06, and my cousin John Whitmore used to be the manager at the movie theater up there, and Jake would come up and hang out, and I never knew the guy, and that's the first time I met him was up there, and he had no hair then, and I'm the one that had long hair, and then it started corrections, and I had to chop mine all off, and he got to keep his.
Just a fruit basket turnover.
I know it.
Of hairstyles. You know, for a while there I had cornrows. Believe it or not, I went through my rebellious phase.
I bet that was just pimp.
But I mellowed out after a while. You know, I just actually I was emulating Road Dogg Jesse James, one of the greatest WWE wrestlers I could ever say.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad. He wasn't too shabby.
So how exactly did you get started in your drumming? Like your first drumming?
Well, I used to play. I've been playing in bands since I was about 17. In a poem, I ended up in quite a few metal bands, and I played in one for about 13 years. Played a lot of shows, met a lot of great people, and every time we'd practice, because I played bass at the time, when we would take breaks and everybody would go outside, I'd stay down there and hop on drum set, and just, because I always wanted to play drums, just never had money to buy a drum set because they're expensive.
Yes.
So after years of doing that and picking up on things and getting a little bit better, I finally moved down here, and I had my brother with me, and we wanted to play metal again. Well, unfortunately, in this general area, there's no market for that. Nobody really wants to hear it. And we couldn't find a drummer. So I decided that, well, I guess I can do it. And I went and bought a rinky-dink 5-piece set and just started from there and been playing ever since. You
know, I heard, and I hope no purist come after me if I get this wrong, but I think it was Joey Ramone was originally the band's manager but started drumming because they couldn't find another drummer. I believe it was Joey.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure on that because I never did any background into the Ramones. Great band.
We'll just say Ramones drummer.
Yeah.
But I remember reading that a while back. Sometimes when I'm bored at home, I just get on Wikipedia and just spend hours.
You know, my wife does the same thing. I call her the Google Queen because if anything, she's just, and she just Googles everything.
Google that?
Yeah, you can Google it.
And I also remember watching Behind the Music. I think it was Bill Ward said that's how Ozzy Osbourne got started in Sabbath, was he was the only person they knew with a PA, so they let him sing. And I really wonder how many other drummers got their start just because they had a drum set, because drummers are rare.
Oh yeah, I've met some that just have phenomenal drum set but couldn't keep a beat. It was ridiculous. You pay all that money and then you don't take the time to really practice and learn it. Because I mean that's the main thing with music. When you want to play an instrument, you have to have that drive to really want to learn it.
Yes.
I didn't get any lessons. I didn't take guitar lessons, drum lessons, nothing like that. I just looked at the instrument and said, I'm going to learn how to play that. And I just sat down for hours on end. Like guitar, I've been playing almost 20 years now, which is a long time. I never had any lessons whatsoever. My brother started playing before I did because he was a little bit older than me, and I used to watch him do it, and I'm just like, I'm going to learn how to do that. And then I bought one, and I just sat down for hours and hours on end and played until my fingers bled, and now I'm at where I'm at now. Which,
you know, I never had any formal lessons either. You know, my mother actually taught me how to play guitar, which was actually kind of confusing to me because my mother, believe it or not, I mean, here I am, you know, 6 foot tall, 380 pounds. I'm a pretty good sized guy. My mother was only 4'11", you know, and she learned how to play when she was 4 years old. And her hands were so small. Actually, whenever she died, she wore a child size 6 shoe. We had to take her to the kiddie section to buy shoes. They were like that. But she was so small she couldn't reach around the neck of the guitar. So she would take a regular 6-string and lay it in her lap like a steel guitar, but still use the open chordings. And that's how she taught me how to play, but it was kind of hard holding the guitar up standard measure. to do that. But I learned it, and actually the first song I ever learned how to play was These Boots Are Made for Walking.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think the first real song that I learned how to play on guitar was the infamous Iron Man song from Sabbath.
Nice.
Yeah. I was so proud of it, and now I look back on it and I'm like, man, that is so easy.
I tell everybody and when, I've had people through the years talk to me about wanting to learn how to play guitar, and I tell them that my 5-minute song is Santa Monica by Everclear, which is just basically that same bar chord, just where you pick up the one finger, lay it back down, and then mute.
I tell a lot of people, because I got some people that were like, well, why don't you teach me how to play? Which is fine. I'll take the time and effort because I got great patience to show you stuff. But, I mean, in reality, I can only show you the door. You got to walk through it yourself. I can show you all the power chords, arpeggio scales that you want and pinch harmonics. But unless you take the time to actually practice it on your own and get better at it, you're just wasting time.
It's a lot of investment, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not something you're just going to... Well, I'm not saying... I mean, there might be some... child prodigies that have just been naturally gifted, with an acumen like that. But for the most part, you're going to have to put in a lot of...
Oh, yeah. And it's a very expensive hobby, which people don't take into consideration a lot of times, too. Because if you want a great guitar, you're going to spend money for it, you know what I'm saying? Especially, but you can take any low-end guitar and put different hardware on it and make it sound like it's a $2,000 guitar. I mean, it's not too hard. It's just time-consuming, and you're going to spend money. Especially my drum set, very expensive.
How many heads do you go through?
Ooh, a lot, especially cymbals. It got to the point now that when I buy cymbals, I actually have to buy the 2-year warranty with them because I break them that fast.
That's hard.
Yeah, it is. And your heads, you're looking from 15 a pop, and you got to replace top and bottom, so you're buying two at a time. My kick drum head's like $45 to $50, and then all the extra stuff, you got to buy sticks because I go through them like they're nothing. They just snap. And then cymbal polish, you got to look good while you're up there playing.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to. It's pretty expensive, but I love to do it. So to me, it's not that big of a deal to drop money like that.
Exactly. It's, everybody has a hobby that they invest in, and even, in your case, you can actually get paid for your hobby, which is a triple win. You have a hobby that you enjoy, other people enjoy it, and you get paid. That's great. And then you can capital reinvest back in your hobby.
Man, I can't tell you how many shows I played where we haven't got paid. But like I said, it's really not about the money for me. I just love to play, and I love to play out and bring that joy to people. So money is really not that... It would be nice, don't get me wrong. I'd love to get paid to do what I love on a daily basis and not have to work in corrections no more, but I just don't see it happening anytime soon. It's coming. It's coming.
Nice. I saw a quote. It was actually in a comic book. People often downplay comic books. They're modern mythology, but the thing you can learn from them. I saw in a comic book one time they were doing some sort of negotiation. Matter of fact, it was in I want to say G.I. Joe number 145, where they were reviving. Yes, I'm that much of a geek.
Wow.
They were reviving Transformers, and the actual story was Megatron's original alt mode, the Walter P-38, they could no longer use because of toy regulations, because it looks just like a Walter P-38. So they reformatted him into a tank. The way that they wrote that into the story was they found him in G.I. Joe, and he brokered a deal with Cobra for them to rebuild him into an Abrams. And that's how they worked it in. But whenever the negotiations originally came, they were talking, and he was basically, you're going to do this or I'm going to kill you, And so they kept on talking. And then one of the quotes that has stuck with me ever since then, that was like 92, I think. It's something, I forget the exact quote they said, but it's something to the fact of, it's not always the amount of money you're dealing with, it's the currency. So those shows, even though you didn't get any greenbacks, you got paid in a good time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the older I get in life, the more I start to realize that in this life, the intrinsic things are worth so much more than the physical and the tangible. I find that more and more in life, man. It's really groovy. So we're coming close to the end of the show, so I'm going to come with my 2 questions that I ask everybody. Number 1, favorite Transformer. Go.
Oh, really? That's just Soundwave.
That's actually my brother's favorite.
Yeah, you can't beat that because I love music. And what does he change into? A boombox. Come on.
But you could also go with Blaster, who was the Autobot boombox, or
Yeah, well, I mean, either or, it really didn't matter. Just great.
or Jazz.
Yeah, I think he was a little cocky.
Yeah. You know, actually, in the Transformers animated series, Soundwave, instead of being a boombox, was a Scion XB style van, and Laserbeak was a Flying V guitar.
Nice.
Yes, I love that
Nice.
innovation.
I like V's, but they're such a pain to play when you're trying to sit down.
Yeah, they tend to slip, you know, because of that angular body. I've always been really, and I know to some people they're played out, but I've always been very fond of Strats.
Yeah, they're not bad. I mean, the body style is really great. Like, I have an Ibanez, and it's the body style is similar to a Strat, and I like it because it has that one spot where I can rest my arm just right.
Exactly. And then my number 2, you have found the awesomeness within yourself with your music. Now, what can you tell other people about finding the awesomeness within their self and bettering their lives?
I mean, really, for me, it took a lot of searching, you know, and being by myself and trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life and what brought me the most joy. And the best thing I can say to everybody else is, you know, when you find what you want to do, go for it. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Yeah, I mean, the only obstacle that you put in front of yourself is yourself. I mean,
Nice.
there's no way, just,
Do it to it.
well, I was going to say something else, but, you know, I can't on this show. But
Yeah, let's not do that. It might be my last show.
yeah,
So
I'm
we
sorry.
will.
I'm from New Jersey, and it's just habit to just spit out obscenities. But we're going to keep that to myself today.
It's okay. We still love you because you're still awesome. So before we wrap up, anything else you want to say to the people at home?
I miss them and I love them, and hopefully, you know, one day I'll be able to go back up home and play where I used to play, you know, in the band I'm in now. And I got a show coming up on the 24th out in Tallahassee with Fillmore Drive. It's going to be at Atmosphere with Misplaced Shoreline. So if you ain't got nothing to do that night and just want to come out to Tally, have a good time, come out and see us.
I'll try my best, and I wish you guys all the best, and I will try everything I can to help y'all achieve that success. And, you know, because we really got to depend on each other in this world. Support your friends, they support you. And that's what makes the world go.
Well, I mean, a lot of people got to remember, too, I mean, you really got to support your local music. So all the major signed bands you see and listen to right now, they all started as a local band. So remember, always support your local music scene.
Very true. Support your local music businesses in general. You know, take care of the home team. And that's I believe, what we're going to wrap with today to make sure I don't overrun on time, because as my father told me, I tend to get a case of verbal diarrhea and forget when to stop talking. So we're going to wrap on that, and I'm going to leave everybody with my favorite catchphrase: the power to be awesome is within all of us. You just got to get in touch with it.